I'm Tina Fordham and you're watching The Navigator. Today we're going to look at the top 5 things about geopolitics that matter for markets now. It's been a roller coaster ride of policy uncertainty since the Liberation Day tariffs were announced. Let's break down what's happened and what's in store. The most important development from a market perspective is the tariff reduction agreed May 14th between the U.S. and China. Welcomed with relief by market participants, the U.S.-China agreement has been widely interpreted as Washington softening its negotiating position and reducing recession risks. But the deal, which lowers rates on some goods down from 125%, comes with trade-offs. Among them, the sense that the Trump administration's China hawks have been marginalized, and that's something Beijing could try to exploit to its future advantage. The agreement is also only a temporary reprieve, lasting until August 10th. The UK were the first trading partner to cut a deal with Washington, but in our view, it's a pretty skinny deal. The 10% baseline tariff on most goods has held, with some limited exceptions. The UK deal has also been criticized by China, while Japan and other countries that are still negotiating with Washington are studying it to see what they can learn from and do better. President Trump's visit to the Gulf has underscored his administration's goal of remaking the Middle East and featured a lot of big-ticket deals. One key development is the announcement of all U.S. sanctions on Syria lifted, a boost for the country's post-Assad future trajectory. Another is the offer of an olive branch to Iran, but threat of maximum pressure if it refuses. One casualty since Liberation Day may be U.S. soft power, as measured by global public perception of the U.S. as a reliable partner. This isn't just about the vibes, it's also linked to incoming foreign direct investment and other metrics. Global perceptions of the U.S. as having a positive role in the world have declined from 59% in October 2024 to 46% in April 2025. Meanwhile, China has seen its global favorability increase in comparison to the U.S. in a majority of countries during the same period. Turning now to our Navigator watch list for May, we're highlighting the UK-EU summit May 19th, where UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer will attempt to continue his reset. This is something that we're tracking but is largely priced in. While disagreements over youth mobility and fishing rights persist, the UK and EU are aligned closely on defense, and that's driving the negotiations. Romania's presidential election on May 18th is another bellwether for EU stability and security. Populist right pro-Russia candidate George Simion holds a narrow lead in an election rerun. Simion has a strong chance of winning the presidency and has shown willingness to align with EU disruptors Viktor Orban in Hungary and Slovakia's Robert Fico in delaying aid to Ukraine and generally supporting Moscow to the dismay of Brussels and other European partners. Finally, as the U.S.-brokered ceasefire between India and Pakistan tentatively holds, tensions between the two nuclear adversaries bear close watching during these unsettled times. A key signpost to watch is India's suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi stating, "Water and blood cannot flow together." Pakistan is warning that the fighting will escalate if the act is not reversed. There's a lot more to say, but we're out of time. As ever, remember the words of Louis Pasteur, "Fortune favors the brave, but chance favors the prepared mind." Make sure to follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our free newsletter to stay updated as events unfold.